everybody. This is Robot Pool Party. Thanks again for tuning in. As always, I'm Joe, this is Matt, and we're here with the latest nerdy news for you.
Somewhat latest, because this has been out for a while, but with the holidays and stuff like that.
Yes.
So I guess this probably came closer to breaking the internet than anything else.
Yes.
Because there was something that said that was going to break the internet, and you're like, whatever, we've already seen you naked, what difference does it make? But the Star Wars teaser trailer came out.
Saw who naked?
Kim Kardashian.
Oh.
Remember when she was trying to break the internet? What kind of geek are you?
I'm not a Kim Kardashian.
Oh, I'm not even saying that. Like I heard so many people that were outraged to think that her porn could break the internet. Like,
okay, well, Star Wars trailer.
Star Wars trailer.
Let's focus on Star Wars trailer.
It has been the most watched teaser trailer in history.
Yes, and it's actually pretty good.
Even the ball droid.
No, I didn't mind the ball droid because there were incredibly stupid-looking robots in the original Star Wars movies.
The trash can droid. That thing's awesome. Don't you hate on the trash can droid?
The power droid that had 2 legs and a box and nothing else.
I just said don't hate on the trash can droid.
That wasn't a trash.
That was the trash.
Okay, that's you. So its official name is Power Droid.
What about the little toaster on wheels? Did you hate that?
That was the mouse droid.
Yes.
I didn't really hate on it. It seemed like it had a specific purpose. But no, like I don't mind the ball droid, the soccer ball droid. I have mixed feelings about the lightsaber.
I'm surprisingly not against the lightsaber. I think it's kind of a cool idea.
If nothing else, now that they've established this hilted lightsaber and they keep changing it, the day will come when we have lightsaber nunchucks.
Like one thing that helped me get over the kind of lameness of the thing was the fact that in the books there's a lightsaber whip, and that's the stupidest thing.
They have those in Star Trek. The Ferengi used them in their first appearance, and then never again because their first appearance was absolutely terrible.
What do you mean? They weren't a threatening thing, or threatening villain to the Star Trek universe?
Well, in their very first appearance, they treated them as like these kind of berserk monkey people before they established the rules of acquisition and the fact that they were a merchant society. But anyways, that's beside the point. So yeah, I'm not totally against the hilted lightsaber. If nothing else, the battles will look cool. One thing I loved about the trailer is that instead of trying to go all out with brand new CGI that looks crazy and weird, their CGI looks to be very geared toward emulating the look of the prequel, or not the prequels, but the original trilogy. Like the X-Wings looked great. Like there was none of that. Like here's these Naboo starships that look so glossy and clean that it just looks fake.
No, the X-Wings did look realistic and beat up and dirty and like what you'd expect from, approximating the time of the age of the main characters, 40 years full of use.
Yeah, like the universe has just gone through like a pretty beat up war. So it makes sense that things will not be shiny and new. And of course we have the only character I think we've really seen is the Stormtrooper. Yes,
the Stormtrooper who was in Attack the Block, whose name escapes me because I meant to watch that just so I have research. It's like I have to do research for the show. It makes me feel professional. But it's time slipped away from me because the dude from Attack the Block, and I am pretty stoked about him because he is a black Stormtrooper, and their Empire was notoriously racist. So right away, he's got a backstory that says, wow, to me. I want to know more about this dude.
Well, they're racist, and they're also, in lore, I believe they're speciesist.
Oh, they're very speciesist.
Like human-centric. And
I read some idiot on The Atlantic who said, well, the Empire's not racist, they were just speciesist. And I'm like, no, they were pretty racist if you read the books. And that guy, like his little justification for it was definitely sound like it was cribbed from Wikipedia. So I don't think this guy is as much of a fan as I am. So I'm calling my nerd cred in, and I'm like, the Empire was racist. So the fact that this guy, they're not totally against it, which is why they let Grand Admiral Thrawn become a Grand Admiral.
No,
which is
because he was a chiss.
Yes, he was a chiss.
All right,
it's a special alien. Our camera person looks lost because they're not into Star Wars as much as me. But so like, it wasn't unheard for somebody of talent or merit to get ahead. But it was definitely hard.
I also believe, I don't mean to interrupt, but I also believe the Chiss were a special case because they were very closely united with the Empire. But keep in mind, the books.
No, he was exiled from the Chiss.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
See, I'm confused because in the MMO, the Chiss work very closely with the Empire.
Really?
But keep in mind, all of that is no longer canon.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter. We could be sitting here talking about, like Ewoks with machine guns, and it's just as canon.
I'd be watching that. That'd be cool.
That'd be great.
But like, yeah, so like in my mind, based on what was in the expanded universe, this kid had to bust butt to become one of the elite in the Imperial Navy. So I already imagined a crazy backstory. Like, did any of y'all see that movie with Cuba Gooding Jr. and with Robert De Niro, where he was the first Cuba was the first black Navy diver? That's already in my head. Like, that's what I've imagined for this.
I don't think Star Wars is going to go the angle of Oscar award-winning epic piece about racism, but he's a neat character, and honestly, the Star Wars universe needs more.
Diversity?
Diversity and representation. They need more than Lando Calrissian.
Yeah, I've already seen people say, "Was that Lando's kid?" And I'm like, "Yeah, because
yes, because
there's only one black dude in the entire universe."
But yeah, but yeah, I mean, the trailer looks great.
Yeah.
I reacted to it much more positively than I thought, and that's actually the second trailer this week that I reacted better than I thought, because the Terminator trailer landed as well.
I have not seen that.
We can talk about that next week, but it was better than it really had any right to be.
Yeah, I do not have any hopes for that Terminator movie.
I didn't, but I do now. But anyway.
All right, so the CBS is developing a Supergirl series, and this has got the same producer as producer of Flash and Arrow, and there are rumors there's going to be crossover potential between those two, which sounds awesome.
You would have to have different companies working together, though, because Flash and Arrow are still CW, right?
Yes.
So I don't know if CW and CBS have a working relationship,
but it doesn't work like that, because the production company produces the whole product together, and then they just sell the individual episodes to the traditional networks.
Don't you have to worry about the networks being like, that's our copyright or something like that?
There's a potential for that, but I think the potential for crossover could be making CBS, because CBS is still known as the network for old people. And like,
fair enough.
As much as they think that, what's Sheldon and
I hate that show.
As much as they think that show is skewing young, it's not. The people who watch that show, Big Bang Theory, is my parents. My mom loves that show.
Big Bang Theory is not a show for nerds. It is a show making fun of nerds.
Yes.
If you ever want to watch a show that is laughing at you instead of with you, watch Big Bang Theory. It's great for that. But anyways, CBS needs something new and exciting. But yeah, it's
what are they gonna do when their rating people start dying or have to go to nursing homes? I'm sorry, I'm evil. I'm going to hell for that joke, but they really need to work on that.
Well, I think they're going to be appealing to a younger audience now that Stephen Colbert is going to be doing the Late Show. That's going to be a pretty big boom. Letterman, like, I like Letterman despite his many faults, but he's an old school comedian. He's from the era of men like, maybe not quite as old as like Mel Brooks, but it's that kind of, he's an old comedian.
Yes.
Colbert will bring in a much younger crowd.
Oh yeah, totally.
A little bit like what NBC could have done with Conan until they screwed him over. That's another story altogether.
Speaking of NBC,
Constantine. Speaking of NBC and screwed over.
Yeah, so Constantine, they're burning out the remaining 13 episodes. They're not producing anymore. And I watched the pilot. I haven't been able to see the regular series episode, and there's a reason for that, because that show shows at Friday nights. It is a Friday night. I am not home. It is a Friday night right now that we're filming.
Yes.
So, like, even nerds are not home on Friday nights. And that show was just too expensive production-wise for them to be dumping it in the Friday night death slot.
Friday, not watching Constantine on Friday.
Yeah, and it's just like, I think if they'd put it anywhere else, like, what has NBC got going for them? What is there anything on is there anything on their slot right now that's worth saving?
I don't watch network TV.
Yeah, so they could easily swap it anywhere and it not suck. Hell, move it to a Saturday night. Saturday night, like, I'm full of beer and I want to watch it.
They're going to mishandle it and they're going to let it die, and that's kind of how it is. Networks mishandle shows. Nickelodeon has wildly mishandled Legend of Korra. And NBC is now throwing away like some potential they could have had for something really good.
Maybe Sci-Fi Network will pick it up.
Maybe.
Over and we'll get more coherent this time. Like, I was like, Will Smith!
Will Smith senpai.
Alright, you should draw that. We should
draw him laying on a bearskin rug rubbing a nipple.
Alright, and then we should do like, we are the men in black.
Large black box.
Is that how the song goes? Alright. So great casting news. They finally announced who will be in the Suicide Squad movie.
Star of Wild Wild West.
Will Smith.
Will
Smith will be playing Deadshot. Deadshot is one of my favorite characters, so I'm super excited that a star of that caliber is playing him.
Basically, Will Smith behind the movie means that they're not going to phone it in.
Yeah.
The fact they're willing to invest in Will Smith and they're counting on it to be a movie that's able to showboat his skills means it's going to be at least passable, I would hope.
I'm doubly excited because you don't invest in an actor like Will Smith and not put him in your expanded universe.
Yeah.
Like, and in my mind, like, the movie ends with them beating the bad guy, and then like the little brain boxes they have in the back to control them, like his doesn't work anymore, like probably gets damaged in the fight or something like that, and he gets away, and then he shows up in other movies. Like, my dream idea would be that Lex Luthor hires him to put like a kryptonite bullet into Superman in one of the later movies. But because that would be phenomenal.
And then he fights a giant mechanical spider with Kevin Kline.
Oh, totally. Like, I would watch that twice. More spider power!
I would, like, they introduced a lot of characters for it. Do you have a list?
Oh, yeah, so they have Tom Hardy would be playing Rick Flag. I've never heard of this guy. I understand he was like a regular, like an old school, like 69 version of Suicide Squad.
No clue.
Jai Courtney will be playing Boomerang. They didn't say which Captain Boomerang. I'm hoping it's Digger because Digger's my favorite, but I'll take an Owen. I'll be cool with that. I was kind of concerned because I thought they were going to have Jai Courtney play Deadshot, and Jai Courtney is one of them from them stupid teen movies. One of those ones. One of those Hunger Game clones. He's from one of those.
So, you mean like the parody clone?
No, the actual real, like the Divergent. He's from Divergent.
Oh, okay.
So that kind of bummed me out. Yeah, he's cool as a sidekick character. I didn't want him to be Deadshot. I wanted my Deadshot to be. I didn't expect Will Smith, but I'm stoked. Like, literally, there's some fan art of him as Deadshot that's just rocked my world.
There's already like a rewrite of the Fresh Prince from Bel-Air song to fit Deadshot.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, God bless the internet. The internet's so awesome.
Sometimes it's horrible.
Cara Devangeline will be playing the Enchantress. She's a model. She was a DJ voice in Grand Theft Auto 4.
Never played it.
Yeah, so that's her claim to fame. She's been in some movies, but from what Wikipedia says, that they sucked. So I don't know what to feel about that. I know she was a member of Suicide Squad, but she's kind of more magical than I think what they were aiming for with the tone of the movie, especially if you're trying to keep it in the whole gritty Nolan verse.
But it's also a sliding scale because Deadshot's already a guy with the crazy laser eye. So why is magic more ridiculous?
I don't know. Like it seems like it could possibly be a like the magic save everything kind of thing. Like it's like a poorly defined power, like Scarlet Witch's powers, you know. So like it seems like they can just do whatever needs to be done to advance the plot.
Finally, not finally, but
this is the thing that's been making people mad. Jared Leto as the Joker.
Yeah, I'm so sick of the Joker. I feel like I say that every time we record, but I'm sick of the Joker. He's in everything.
I think he's there for fan service. Like in my head. I think they're going to open the movie with Joker and the Harley getting arrested and Harley being pulled over the Suicide Squad, but Joker getting away. So, and then he's going to be free to appear in other DC-themed movies.
And if that's what they do, fantastic. But if he's constantly a presence, then, yeah.
I don't think he's going to be in the actual Suicide Squad.
I hope not.
As expensive or as prominent as an actor of Jared Leto's caliber is, I just don't think he's going to be in the entire movie.
Well, hopefully not.
Margot Robbie is going to be Harley Quinn. She was in The Wolf of Wall Street. I didn't see that movie.
Well, we talked a little bit about her last time, and that the headshot they were showing of her whenever they first announced her, like you looked at it and you're like, well, yeah, that looks exactly like what I'd expect Harley to look like. But I'm not familiar with her in Wolf of Wall Street or anything like that. So we'll just have to kind of wait and see. The
writer-director is David Ayer, who wrote Training Day and directed Training Day. And he was in... I can't read my handwriting, but he directed a lot of stuff.
Okay.
So, Training Day was mind-blowingly awesome. So, right away, I'm like, yeah. Oh, he directed End of Watch, which...
I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen that, but, really, people were stoked by that movie. The trailer made it look bad. I'm not going to lie. And then, the fact that it started getting all these rewards, I'm like, really? Wow, okay, cool.
And
the most important thing is, the most important character... besides Deadshot, in my mind, is Amanda Waller, and she is not cast. They have 3 finalists. Oprah.
I don't see Oprah doing it.
Oh, what if she puts Deadpool on the couch and she gets him to admit he's in love with Harley Quinn?
You get a mind control box, and you get a mind control box, and you get a mind control box.
Octavia Spencer from The Help, and Viola Davis from How to Get Away with Murder. Now, I haven't seen How to Get Away with Murder, I have seen the promotion for it a million times during Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And I can tell you what that, when Viola Davis says, how to get away with murder, and like, it gives me chills, dude. Like that's who I'm putting my money on for Amanda Waller. Like, you're a big Justice League fan, Justice League Unlimited fan?
Yeah, the cartoon, I loved it.
And when she told off Batman, she said, whatever, rich boy. And like, you're like, she put Batman in his place.
I'm disappointed that the Amanda Waller in Arrow is not a bigger person. As a bigger person, I like the representation of Amanda Waller being completely tough and no nonsense and took nothing from anybody, and yet was still somebody that's bigger. I actually think that if those are their finalists for the current Amanda Waller, they're passing up somebody that I think would be great in it. Retta, who plays Donna on Parks and Rec, who I think she could nail that role.
I don't know. She's a comedian. I mean,
but a lot of comedians can still do fantastic acting. Keep in mind, Will Smith started as a comedian.
That is
he's a comedic actor.
Yeah, but like, that's entirely true. Entirely true. Like Robin Williams, most famous for his dramatic work. But I mean, so there's that got going for me.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna be. I'll be watching and be like her Cadillac. Or
what she's gonna be like she's gonna send out like the Suicide Squad, and then she's gonna treat yourself. But no, like I think she's a great actress, and I think that like if she's given a shot to do something serious, I think she would nail it. But that's just me. Anyways, next topic.
They announced a whole bunch of Marvel casting, and first of all, Kristen Ritter will be Jessica Jones in the Alias TV show. Is that what there's
Alias TV show?
Well, she was.
You mean the Netflix, the Netflix like Heroes for Hire?
Yeah. Well, she was in Alias. She was not like Alias, the TV show Alias, and that's where that really bugged me out. Because like when they first started appearing at the same time, I thought they were the same thing, like just a comic book adaptation. But no, it was a different thing. God, she had so many stupid names and so many stupid powers and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm like kind of cool with this because we're getting closer to getting our Iron Man, or our Iron Fist Power Man combo.
Yes.
Benedict Cumberbatch, it will be our Doctor Strange. It's been confirmed.
Slightly disappointed. I mean, we've talked before about this. Like, not only just the fact that Benedict Cumberbatch is now like, it's like he's trying to build up his nerd cred too fast because he has to be in the Hobbit movies, Star Trek movies, now the Marvel
movies. Hobbit movies?
He's Smaug.
He was Smaug?
The voice of Smaug.
Oh.
And on top of being Sherlock, and I really have nothing against him because I think he's a good actor. It's just the other people that were tossed around for that role, like Joaquin Phoenix. I like the idea of Joaquin Phoenix. I like the idea of Hugh Laurie. I, of course, loved the idea of Ewan McGregor.
Yeah.
But it was not to be.
It was not to be. And this one's no surprise. This next one is no surprise.
Yeah.
But it's finally going to happen. Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool.
Yes. Everybody's got mixed feelings about how bad Deadpool was in the Wolverine movie. But as bad as Deadpool was, Wade Wilson was good. Before everything went wrong and they sewed his mouth shut. It was actually pretty good as Wade Wilson. So I think Ryan will do a good job.
Yeah, dude, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, like in my head, I'm picturing a violent Van Wilder. So that's really what I'm expecting from this.
I can see that.
Yeah.
All right.
So Nintendo patented. There's a word in there that needs to come out. Official Game Boy emulator technology for your phone, which makes me excited because there's some Game Boy games that I want to play that I don't want to steal.
Well, my first question is it old school Game Boy? Is it Game Boy Advance? Is it Nintendo DS?
It didn't say. There's not even guarantee that they're actually going to release it. They just patented this technology.
All right.
And I think that if I could play Dr. Mario on my phone while I'm wasting time, I'd be stoked.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for bringing back retro games because a lot of retro games still really, really, really hold up. There's a reason in our apartment the Super Nintendo is still hooked up because it's fun to play TMNT Tournament Fighters or Zombies Ate My Neighbors or any of like the old SquareSoft RPGs. Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of playability in that old system, even though it did turn yellow.
I mean, like, I just like the idea because, like, casual gaming has been really kind of dumb. Like, I wish I had bought the Bejeweled app back in the day before it became all like freemium. I'm so mad at myself because that game was so much fun, and like I could easily spend like 30 minutes while waiting for an appointment or waiting for something. Yeah. So I could kill 3 minutes, 4 minutes at a time. I didn't want to play those freemium games. I'm not interested in shelling out money to idiots. I think if Nintendo does release this, and if they're kind of cool about that, and like I would totally buy Dr. Mario. I'd pay $5 to $10 for Dr. Mario. Like that game was so much fun. Right away, I'd pay $5 to $6 for $5 to $10 for Tetris.
If they handled it well, that like the actual app was free to download, and then it was like maybe $2-3 per game, and I don't even think that's unreasonable or too cheap, because these are games that are 20, 30 years old. Like as it is right now, the freemium game market, it needs some kind of breath of fresh air to kind of kick everybody in the butt, because like the only free to play game that I really think is something that I really want to support is Plants vs. Zombies 2. It's the only one where I haven't felt completely paywalled or forced to wait to be able to play more. So I think that if Nintendo comes out with an emulator and like the games are fairly cheap for complete games, I think that would be a great thing for that part of the industry, and it'd be a great thing for Nintendo. They've always been good at thinking outside the box, for better or worse. Whether or not you liked the Wii or you liked the Wii U, you had to give them credit for being, hey, let's try something else. Let's give you a screen on your gamepad, or let's introduce motion technology in a way that actually works. So yeah, I have a lot of love for Nintendo. It's still the Wii U is still my favorite current console, and I play it pretty much every day between Hyrule Warriors and a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, go Nintendo, you're awesome.
Go Nintendo. Like I just hope they don't do anything stupid like what Final Fantasy has been doing on their phone.
All the remakes, or
and like the chapters, you buy a chapter.
Oh yeah.
And and then you can buy the super weapon early on, and you're like, oh no, please don't do that to me.
It's pretty awful.
That because I love Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy is one of my favorite series. And if you want to talk about like stuff that I still play Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9. I have a 20-year-old. A 20-year-old PlayStation 2 that I play all my stuff on. I'm sorry there, folks. There was a butt being shook at me, so I mean, of course I'm going to stare. So it's been confirmed that Doomsday will be in the Batman vs. Superman movie.
Yes. Just another thing to add into that movie.
Yeah, what else can we shoehorn in there? Like, really? Let's get War of Light in there, you know? Let's get like the whole Green Lantern War before you even reintroduce Green Lantern. Let's get that into.
Let's have the Trinity of Sin show up.
Oh, totally. While we're doing that, let's Final Crisis. All the crises. Let's get them all together in Batman vs. Superman.
Yes, and let's have the Spectre do like the midpoint of the movie where it's like, let's all go to the lobby. Let's make
a 4 or 5 hour movie with every possible fan service we could.
It's gonna be bad.
Yeah, there's no way. At least we have Suicide Squad to look forward to. At
Maybe.
least I have Suicide Squad to look forward to.
Otherwise, the DC movie universe right now is like, no hope, no hope.
I don't want to be a Prophet of Doom guy, but this is, come on, really slow down.
Yeah.
There is a plus side cameo. There will be a cameo. Cameo is the key word of the Batman villain KG Beast. So I mean,
which is weird because, I think it's kind of neat, but it's also like, who's clamoring for KG Beast?
I wasn't until now, but now that it's been out there, I'm like, let's see some KG Beast action.
Yeah, but it's like, where's that hardcore KG Beast
contingency?
Yeah, that's like, we need KG Beast in the movies.
Well, maybe they're trying to do well in Russia.
Maybe, like every Russian person in movies and fiction is usually awesome, which actually segues into our next topic. In a weird way,
no, go segue that. I'm curious.
Okay. Speaking of awesome people, awesome Russian people in fiction, I want a spin-off that is just the Russian guy from Arrow, the one from the sub.
Oh yeah,
it's just awesome. Like when he has that one line where he's like, "They say living well is the best revenge. I prefer torture." It's like, he's awesome.
Yes, I forgot about that. Season 2 was so long ago for me. Speaking of Arrow.
You had something... Well, we had a little bit to talk about with Arrow.
Yes, so it's Season 3 of Arrow. And you know who does not have a costume yet? Diggle. Why can't Diggle have a costume? Like, it just bugs me out. He's going out there in just like his regular street clothes, and like he's probably getting them dirty. He's probably gonna bring him back to his wife, and she's like, "Excuse me."
It's always either his finely tailored suit or it's like a turtleneck.
Yeah, and it's just like, and the worst thing is he didn't have a mask, so he's already the bodyguard for one of the most famous people in Starling Cities. And it doesn't make a brainstorm to be like, well, you're the bodyguard, so this guy.
Yeah, that's that guy you're always with, always.
Always.
Yes. But again, pretty much everybody in Starling City is an idiot. So it's, yeah, like, I don't know. The police force in it is incompetent.
Oh, totally.
The police force is nothing but, like, we're going to draw our guns, and then we're going to run up to you in melee range. Like, oh, here's this guy with a katana that's standing in front of a bus. Let's pull our guns and walk right up to him. I don't see how this could possibly go wrong.
And let's not forget the fact that the dad, the captain got demoted down to street somebody, and they got re-promoted to captain.
I can't complain about him too much because he's one of the few characters in the show that I legitimately like.
Really?
Although I think I liked him more when he was like, I hate the Arrow. Yeah. I was like, I do too, Detective Lance. But
now it's your BFFs.
Yes, you're not quite as interesting, but you're still better than your daughters or Oliver's sister or Oliver, or pretty much anybody other than Diggle and the Russian guy. But I actually just finished season 2 of Arrow yesterday, and I have to say I actually thought it was a lot better than season 1. I notoriously disliked season 1.
Everybody disliked season 1. That's why everybody said skip season 1.
But we had to watch it because me and my roommate were going through it. And, I mean, it all worked out because, at this point now I can make him watch episodes of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So I've parlayed that into something, profitable for me.
But that show's so sad when they're mean to Charlie. Anytime they're mean to Charlie, I'm like, screw you, you Sunny guys. I hope you all get...
They're mean to everybody. Yeah. It's a great show.
But not Charlie. Be nice to Charlie. He's just so sweet.
Well, until he makes a transition into Arrow, maybe he can be like, I don't know, Condiment King or something. Pied Piper, King of the Rats.
Ooh, yes.
There we go. But like as far as Arrow goes, like season 2 is bad, but it's a fun bad. And bad is always better than boring, and that's what season 1 was. Season 2 had some great moments. Season 2 had the Clock King, who, before he turned into just generic hacker, he was like he was in the animated series. It was like, it takes them exactly 0.45 seconds in order to come around the corner. Which is great, because it's so incredibly stupid. There's a scene in Season 2 of Arrow where Slade is yelling at Oliver, and for a split second, you really believe that Slade is just going to start barking at him. It's like, Oliver, you need to... And it's just, it's so campy, and it's so dumb that you can't help but enjoy it, even though there's some stupid parts. I still roll my eyes about the fact that Amazo is a boat, which is...
As an Amazo fan, I'm kind of sad about that, but I'm just glad that he's getting some props.
That feels really unnecessary, because it's like, the people that will get that reference will be mad at it. And the other people that don't get that reference won't care. So it's just, I don't know, that was really unnecessary.
Come on, tell me the one where the Huntress comes back to town was pretty cool.
I don't mind the Huntress, because I always felt like she was being handled unfairly by Oliver, because Oliver was like, you can't kill people in this city. That's my job. Although now he's kind of going back and forth. Like, there was really a point in the last episode where he's like, I have to kill Slade because he won't stop. And then 5 minutes later, he's like, we can't kill anybody tonight. And it's like, Oliver, make up your mind. Like, season 2 has made me really not like Oliver. But he's just inconsistent. But everybody else is slowly getting there, especially Diggle and
Felicity.
I like Felicity.
Everyone likes Felicity.
I'm not thrilled about the casting on Felicity, but
she was supposed to be a one-shot character.
I mean, I can see why they kept her around. She's entertaining. I really didn't like how Oliver screwed her over in the very final episode of season 2. That whole, Slade's after the woman I love, so I'm going to rip out your heart and flush it. And that was really kind of lame, but that again goes back into me really not liking Oliver much anymore. But yeah, the real charm of season 2 comes from the overacting of Slade and the stupid parts like Clock King. A consistent complaint, and it would go a long way to help Suicide Squad movie if they brought him in. Michael Jai White is criminally underused in Arrow.
Completely.
Like, they have him show up to put on his claws and maybe do this once. And it's like, he is capable of so much more.
He could roundhouse your face off, dude.
Yeah.
Twice before you even blink.
It's criminally underused. He needs to do more. There just needs to be an episode that's just him cutting people's heads off with his claws. That's all it is.
Yes.
It's just 40 minutes of that. And then the arrow splash screen, where they just, arrow.
Yes, dude. Yeah, so much more Bronze Tiger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you're finally mostly caught up because now it's season 3.
But now I'll never watch any of it because me and my roommate have to wait for it to show up on Netflix. So
jeez,
it's gonna join the ranks of shows like Archer. That like we're just now we play the waiting game.
Oh, so you don't want me to tell you that Clock King reappears?
I would be happy if you did. I don't really care about spoilers because I'm not invested in the show that much. It's not like a big storyline that I've been really waiting to see, like Dragon Age or something like that. It's like, oh, it's Arrow. I'm sure that stupid TV superhero stuff will happen. Like they'll bring in like Mr. Freeze and he'll be like somebody that worked in an ice cream shop that like some guy was mean to him and he like filled him up with ice cream and that's how he died or some stupid.
No, dude. One I'm looking forward to because they've already teased the mid-season finale, Arrow versus Ra's al Ghul.
That'll be great.
Yes, and they're fighting on the mountaintop like somebody just watched Batman Begins. What if we film them on a mountaintop? It's fighting shirtless.
The problem with Arrow consistently is that they're just like, you guys like Dark Knight, right? Because we can totally do Dark Knight on a budget. You guys like that scene when the Joker was recording people with like a home camera? Because we can do that like every third episode. Like it's just, a lot of it is just very, very, it's like Dark Knight on a budget. Whatever.
But that's what Arrow's always been. Green Arrow's always been the budget Batman. So I mean,
Fair
really.
enough. And yet, 2 seasons in, like 40-some episodes, still have yet to see one punching glove Arrow.
Oh, well then you need to see season 3.
Alright, that time again, during every Robot Pool Party, I get to critically rate Matt's comic choices. So far, you're doing pretty good.
It's because we didn't film last week.
What did you pick up last week that you think I would have been really critical?
The Wonder Woman reboot. Or not reboot, but new creative team. And,
okay.
And I picked up the Slade Wilson, or the Deathstroke #2.
Yeah, I can see myself being pretty critical of that. Although I would have liked to have held up the Deathstroke book and be like, Matt! Alright, okay, so first of all, we got Fight Like a Girl, which, by Action Lab Comics?
Yeah, I've never seen this before, but it's got a girl fighting a dinosaur with a baseball bat. So
Yeah.
I was like...
On paper, this looks pretty fun.
And then when you actually open it up, she's fighting with a chainsaw, so I don't know what to believe. Like, I've never even heard of this comic book company, but I'm like, dinosaurs, baseball bats, chainsaws. Okay, you've got me.
Yeah, like it looks pretty interesting. I'm a fan of indie comics, like comics that aren't part of the big two, and I'm really a fan of female protagonists that are actually dressed appropriately, and that what we have here. So yeah, I actually let me know how this is. Because this actually looks like it might have promise. Okay, next one we have. Ooh, this feels glossy. Is the new Secret Six. Okay, so Gail Simone is back, and this is the very first one of her of the new Secret Six. Again, I'm not the most experienced with Secret Six, but I understand that it's one of those comic lines that was like really well regarded. So back, Catman. Is back, I'm guessing. And is this a complete reboot?
I don't know. It was a special project she's been working on for a while. I don't know much about it, just that she's working on it. And in my mind, she was working on this when she should have been working on Batgirl, because Batgirl has not been pretty nice. But if this pays off, then it could be...
I will say the artwork in this is gorgeous. Like, just, it has a style that is just not really, like... not what I'm used to seeing in comics. Just the way it looks, the shadows are great. It looks very moody and atmospheric. And if it's something that Gail Simone actually really cares about, then I think that it'll probably have some good writing. So,
just on a side note, is that Gail Simone is working on another project that's like creator owned. I think that will also be coming out soon.
Yeah.
So I mean, if this turns out to be good and her creator project that I'm sure she really cares about more turns out to be good, then maybe it'll be worth it from like those mediocre Batgirl comics that we got.
And up next we have Lugs.
Lugs.
It's the comic book based on the popular shoe.
I know. I don't go without lugs.
All right, actually, it's Iron Fist, the living weapon. I like Iron Fist. I like Danny Rand as a character. I am not thrilled with this cover.
This is issue 7. Issue 6 came out like 6 months ago, so right away, I'm pretty sure this book is on the way to be canceled.
Probably.
And they're burning off this issue just because they kind of left the issue 6 with his hands being broken.
I don't like the art in this.
Oh, I hated the art. I've always hated the art.
Wow. Way to phone it in for a character that deserves better, Marvel. Yeah, it's... Man.
Those are baby kung fu fighters, in case you're curious.
Well, it's just, like, it's just drawn so poorly. Alright, yeah, I got nothing good to say about this other than the fact that it is Iron Fist, but that is, like, just, wow. Like, the proportion... yeah, that's... sorry, man.
No, I fully expected it. Like I said, I think it's going to be canceled soon, so I needed to finish the storyline.
Fair enough, fair enough. And then finally, we have... I don't know. Oh, Grayson. Oh, Grayson.
I liked issue 1. Issue 2 totally lost me. But then people said good stuff about issue 4, so I said, well, maybe I'll give it a thing.
So, what's the storyline in this? Has he abandoned, like,
No.
Nightwing, or is he...
So he died in Forever Evil, or
Okay.
he was killed, but like,
Is that Midnighter in this?
yes, it's got some authority stuff. That's what made issue 1 look promising. And then when issue 2 sucked so much, I was like, really? But it's so Batman sent him to investigate the secret agent organization that he's working for, which boggles my mind. Because how many freaking secret agencies could they possibly have in the DC universe?
A lot.
It's so many, but he's working on this one. He's a mole for Batman, and they're searching in the file another thing, which apparently is a different secret agency that's employing the Midnighter and Apollo and all them stuff like that. So it's like quasi-spy-y. I don't know. We're giving it another shot because Nightwing is my favorite character in comic books, and
I don't know. I mean, I know you really like Dick Grayson, so I can't say too much critical, because you're just supporting a character that you like, even if they're not treated well, and I can't really fault you for that, as a fan of, like, Batwoman and The Question, and sometimes the stories are not great. But yeah, oh, by the way, make sure you watch Constantine, because you're not going to be able to in a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. It could be interesting. The cover is very striking, especially for a Batman-oriented character, which are usually very dark and foreboding. Like, but yeah, I don't know. You have to let me know. It's probably good. Yeah, aside from that horrible-looking Iron Fist cover, wow, that's bad. But all right. That's, you got a neutral vote. It's probably your worst week.
Yeah.
But it's still not a horrible week. Although the fact that you passed up, here's the best thing. Bee and Puppy Cat's out. And he passed out Bee and Puppy Cat for this. That's that right there.
Bee and Puppy Cat will be out next week too.
No, well, well, I'll tell you what, when you buy Bee and Puppy Cat, you'll get a passing grade and a hug. And that's...
I'll go buy it right now!
Actually, I think that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to wrap it up right now.
Let's do this.
And thanks again for watching. Again, we're still kind of finding our paces and kind of getting used to the whole thing. So for stuff that you would like to see us discuss or talk about, please let us know in the comments. And please be sure to follow us and subscribe and all that good YouTube stuff. We really appreciate it. And I think that's about it for tonight.
Awesome.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good night.
Thank you.